I don't like anything that sedates me right now. That's one of the big things. Like people say, well, Rolla, where do I start? How do I get better? How do I self-improve? How do I become the best version of myself? The first thing you need to do is find out what is sedating you. Sometimes it's porn. It might be like prescription opioids. It might be weed, especially weed now. It might be alcohol. It might be it might be your you play online, multiplayer online, your immersive kind of like World of Warcraft games. Whatever your escape is, that's probably your sedation. Whatever your drugs are, whatever keeps you in bed and doesn't get you out and you fucking on your ass and going out and killing the world, that's probably something that's sedating you. And there's lots and lots of things that sedate, especially young men today.
Especially now.
Find out what is sedating you and start with that first. And stop being sedated. I can tell you all this great shit, and I can give you actionable information all day long, and it makes no fucking difference if you can't get your fat ass out of bed.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever is sedating you, and so did I take drugs in my youth? Yes, of course I did. I LSD, shrooms. I've done ecstasy. I've done other drugs before.
Just a little dabble.
But I haven't touched drugs since I was probably like in my late 20s, maybe, or mid 20s, right?
How shocked are people when they hear that?
Well, I also worked in wine. I worked in wine and spirits up until about 2020. So I mean, I'm familiar with alcohol quite a bit. I was a principal creative for Van Gogh Vodkas. So I've done quite and through them, I had like a portfolio of a lot of major brands as well. So I'm familiar with the whole alcohol scene. That's actually one of the reasons, one of the things that kept me in the clubs and sort of like kept me sort of a student of human behavior was being out at promos because of the industry that I worked in. So I'm the only one sober at 2 a.m. and everybody's fucked up, and it's like a superpower, man. I'm out there writing notes, and okay, I see what that kind of shit. So, but as far as I know that's popular, like psychoactives and stuff like that. I hear like mostly older guys just say like, I went to the Amazon rainforest and I licked a poison frog, or I took ayahuasca on some shamanic, spiritual, I went to the spirit world with peyote or something. I'm like, no, dude, you just turned your brain into silly putty for like, half a day. And now you're back to where you're at again. And this is the shit you should have done when you were 19. Like I wasn't going, okay, it was pretty stupid, but I did it. I did what I did. I don't think it's like some path to the spirit world or another dimension or anything like that. You're hallucinating. You basically are turning your brain into silly putty for a little while, and then if you feel like it's, I can understand why guys who do it later in life, they think it's some big spiritual revival for them because they never did it before, and they go, oh my gosh, where's this been all my life? And so I can see how it's much more significant to guys who like do ayahuasca trips when they're 40 some odd years old, because they didn't do it when they were 19, when they were too scared shitless to do it, or they didn't even know what the hell it was at that time. So I understand why, like, a lot of people who are predisposed to that sort of mindset think it's like this big, experience, existential expansion of their lives and stuff. I get that. I get the feeling because I've done them before, but I think that really it's not something that you should use as a crutch, and it's certainly not something that should be a sedation.
Wow. Yeah. I just know you guys get that question a lot because the information that you guys
anything,
put out,
I need to do more caffeine, and I need to do something else.
So
I need to be more amped.
What was the question?
if they dabble in psychedelics.
Okay.